We now join the seminar already in progress.
Now, the hypnosis is one thing, you see, but you'll see the difference. This cross is something else, a totally different dimension. Totally different dimension. I mean, those of you who didn't succumb to the hypnosis, that's fine. It doesn't make any difference because it has nothing to do with hypnosis. And not everybody will be exercised, but everybody will usually feel something, a warmth, just like an energy in their heart, a lightness, a freedom, a crying, ability to repent, to be sorry. It does something to everybody. There's something for everybody in this experience. But we got a little problem here, so I see someone already responding to this already. Could you bring him up over here? Could you come up over here? See, so I can... I know, you just need some release, I know. Okay. What does this mean to you? This cross?
It means that I can be forgiven.
Go on. Can you accept it? Can you accept it? A gift, a free gift?
I want to.
What stops you? What stops you?
I'm afraid.
Afraid of what?
My father.
You mean to say you're afraid what your father might say if you accept forgiveness? That doesn't make sense.
He wants to hurt me. And
Pardon?
he wants to hurt me, and there's nothing I can do.
Is your father alive or dead?
He's alive.
You live with your father?
No.
You hate your father? You're a wimp of your father. He's a tyrant, isn't he?
Everybody treats me the way my father treated me.
You set everybody else up for... You set him up for that. You're addicted to hating him, aren't you? You're addicted to furnishing your world with what made you as you are. Complete with fathers like that. You're addicted to hating, aren't you? You're made out of hate, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're made out of hate, aren't you?
I know I am.
How about being made out of light and love? Darkness and hate, and light and love. Which did you choose? Darkness and hate, light and love. Choose it.
I want to choose light.
Then choose it. Choose it. Accept it. Let your hate go.
I want to choose
You're wrong. You're wrong for hating your father. Your father's wrong. Of course your father's wrong, but you're more wrong in the way you've dealt with him. You've become dark like him. Well, but your mother. Your mother's holding on to you somehow.
Praise.
Praise.
Praise lies all the time.
She builds you up?
She built me up, and then she put my father on me. He was like a hitman.
She set your father. She turned you against your father, didn't she? And you got your mother's identity inside
She
you.
turned my father against me.
And you against him. Of course, you against him too by setting him on you. You're rejecting him, his cruelty. So come on, out it comes. See it.
No.
Yes. Yes, see it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Finish with it. Unload it. Let it go. Let it go. Let go and let God. Let go. Admit the whole thing, that you're wrong. You're only wrong for hating them. You've lost your identity. You lost your true self in this whole shuffle. Being rejected by your father, rejecting your father, your mother turning your father against you and turning you against your father, you hating your mother for doing that to him being weak and not... Is that right? You hate him for being weak? What are all your fears? What are all your fears?
It's like I had to be dead, because if there was any life in me, I was in mortal danger. He would like explode at any time.
If there's any resistance in life, he would have hurt you. So you had to play dead?
But he never hurt me.
But he didn't hurt you because you played dead. That's death. You speak up to him now. I want you to. Respectfully, without anger. I want you to see clearly what's happened. I want you to have compassion on your father. Have compassion on him because he's a victim just like you. But I also want you to have compassion on your mother because she's a victim just like you. You're a system of victims making victims. Do you think you'd be any better if you were a father? You'd be a wimp, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Now let it go. What does this cross represent now? The truth.
Truth.
You see the truth now? How angry, how anger. You're made out of anger, and you're made out of darkness,
Yes.
and that's in conflict with the light of God.
Yes.
Forgive. Let it go. Receive the free gift of God. You are forgiven. You already are forgiven. It's a free gift. You don't have to behave yourself for it. Nothing you've ever done up to now has made you worthy of it, except you want to be forgiven. But you have to forgive from now onwards. You have to remember they're victims too. Have compassion. If you know the truth, it'll make you free. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You feel better now?
Feel well.
You feel well. Okay?
Feel warm.
Feel what? What's that?
Warm.
All over? Feel full of light? Now just hang on to that. Because you're now connected to the kingdom of heaven within you. Anger is no more. Forgiveness is in, judgment is out. Do you have compassion for your mother and father now? Can you see them as victims? Have being possessed and something operating through them that they couldn't help? It's a system of thinking and being that they were possessed by when they were a child. And look at you, you got it too. You don't want to be the way you are, do you? You've never wanted to be the way you are. Yet you are the way you are, or were the way you are, right?
Yes.
That's why you can understand, because you're sitting in the same shoes. All right?
Yeah.
Sit down.
Thank you.
Everybody understand that? Anybody identify with that? Let's see what time it is. Well, we're going to have another half an hour or so. By the way, you find this enjoyable? Nothing terribly dramatic yet, but wait. Yes. You want me to check you out? Well, let's sit, both of you sit there. We'll check you out if you just want. Come up here, both of you. Well, I just since you put your hand up, I'm going to come to everybody after a while, but let's check you out with my stethoscope. And you know, I'm very light-hearted when it comes to this. Very light-hearted because we're not dealing with subliminal suggestion anymore. We're dealing with direct confrontation with reality. And some words are necessary to help the person stop hiding. Let's try you. Let's just check you out. Let's see. One of the symptoms of this cross being passed around to you is your heart will just jump out of its cavity. It may not be more than that, but we'll see. It may be more than that.
I feel it around my eyes.
The reason why you feel it around your eyes is because of the way you've looked at women.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
That's where your sin has come in through your eyes, hasn't it?
Yes.
To some degree. I'll come back to you in a minute. Feel anything else?
Just pounding my head.
Pounding in your heart. See, this might be resolving itself even now, quietly, without any drama. But there are some people that will dramatize the thing within them. Okay?
When you were talking to this man over here, when you were talking to this man over here, I was, felt a sadness and, like a crying.
I know, repentance.
Yes.
It's called sneaking in the back door. When I'm talking to another person, see, if I come up with a cross, sometimes it defends itself and goes in hiding. But I'm working with another person, you get so identify with that person, that thing comes out of you, and you relate to that cross through that person. It's all right. It works that way. I have no problem with that. Let's try you. Come on, respond.
I was reacting when that other man was.
You feel something from the cross?
I just feel tense right now.
What else of the cross?
I don't feel anything.
No, it doesn't want to go. I've seen it before. It doesn't want to leave me. I felt that pressure in my abdomen when you were talking about him, that anger. I see it as a separate entity.
I know.
It won't come out.
Remember, we're not, just because I'm passing the cross around, that doesn't mean to say something will leave you. It will stir. You'll discover something in there that you never noticed before. But the process of awakening will have begun. Becoming conscious that something exists in you that should not be there. I'm going to come around to all of you in just a little while. Is that all right? I'll just sort of walk around, and these people were brought up for whatever reason, because that makes you scared a little bit, doesn't it? Come out. Whatever is in there, come out. Come to the surface and come out. Is it your mother or father in there? Mother. It's your mother. What's her name?
Pat.
Come out, Pat. Come out. Come out. A lot of hate in there. It's a demon of what? Hate. Not ready yet. Not ready.
You're the only one that can help me.
I know, but you're going to be ready, right?
I am ready, consciously.
I know, but we're not ready. You've got to go sit down. I'll come back to you again.
It's hiding. I feel it hiding.
I know. Come out of hiding. Come out of hiding. You cannot hide from the cross. You cannot hide from the cross. There's no place you can hide. No flesh, no eyes, no mouth, no ear, no stomach.
It's embarrassing me.
No, it's embarrassed because of the cross.
I don't want to be seen by anybody. I don't hide.
Who are you?
I don't know.
Hi, who are you?
I don't know.
Who are you?
I don't know anymore.
Come on out, whoever you are. Come on out.
It's hiding. It won't go.
In the name of Jesus Christ, come out of hiding. Come out. Come out in the name of Jesus Christ.
I want to let it go, and I don't know how.
You don't have, there's no how. There is no how. You just back off. Stop struggling with it. Stop struggling. Let go and let God. Just be the battleground for the evil. Listen to me. Stop struggling with it. Stop resenting the fact that it won't come out. You're resenting the fact that it won't come out. Stop resenting it. Now come out.
I feel it's everybody else can be saved, but not me.
It's a lying to you. It just lied to you. It just lied to you. See it as a lie. It lied.
I'm no good.
No, it's not true. Well, it's true. Of course, there's half-truths to it.
I'm not good enough.
No, salvation is not for the good enough. You wouldn't need salvation. See, I want the arguments. I want the arguments. Argue with me. Come on, give me the reasons why you won't come out. Give me the reasons why it's telling you that you're not good enough. Give me all the reasons. Salvation, God will give you forgiveness.
I know that consciously.
I know, but I'm telling you right now, unconsciously, through this cross, I'm telling you to believe it. Believe into it. Pass from death into life. Pass from death into life.
How? It's got to be intellectual. I don't know how.
Now close your eyes. And pray to God. Pray to Him. And ask Him to take this thing from you.
I have.
No, now.
Please, God, take this awful entity out of my body.
And let's do it again.
Please, God, take this awful entity out of me.
And don't resent Him if He doesn't.
I didn't ever want anybody to see this.
Well, you did. That's the reason why.
It's hiding.
But you never wanted anybody to see it. That's the reason why you've cooperated with it. See that? This now everybody can see it.
You know, I'm a conformist.
Come on.
I hate being a conformist.
Stop hating. Everything, you hate everything. That's why it stays there. It lives on hate. It lives on hate.
I know all that.
Stop, give it up. Have you been meditating so you know how to give up hate?
Whenever I meditate, I move all over and then it puts me to sleep.
Ah, so you haven't been meditating
I
very,
do.
not very well. You're going to have to learn now to meditate, because meditation brings your soul to the light where it can be rescued.
I know it's trying to kill me because it tries to make me fall asleep driving on the freeway.
See? Well, we're going to be here 2 days, are you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're getting a little closer
I
now.
feel better.
Okay, sit down. Stage 1. You see what happens too? What we're talking about here is not necessarily getting rid of your demon. Not necessarily getting rid of the demon, but weakening it, giving it a little, just neutralizing some of its force so that the light within you can deal with it. Sometimes we deal with it completely by this means. I don't understand the mystery. How are you feeling? How are you doing? All right? Ready?
Pressing it.
Yeah, but please don't. Please don't. Just look at it. That's not what I want you to do. If you repress it, you're not going to look at it. You'll be dealing with it, your own ego. Don't you see that? If you're going to cry, cry. Okay? If you're going to cry, cry. Just let it out. Just let it come out in tears. So it leads to sorrow. Okay. You're no less a man, you know. You're no less a man. All right? Yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me all right?
Some money laying, he had left some money laying on top of his Xerox machine, right? Like a couple of $100.
Right.
And I was standing there and I watched, and I was very objective. And I saw very clearly there were thoughts in my mind to steal this money, but at the same time I was distant, and I could see that wasn't me. That
wanted to do that.
Something, yeah. I no longer identify with it like I did years ago, but yet the thoughts are still there in my mind, and I see it, and I'm distant. I just, and I don't know if I have to go through anything, or is it enough just to be distant?
Do you understand what this gentleman is saying? Yes. That's it. That is when you start to see where the thoughts are coming from. You don't identify it as if it was originating from you. Because if those thoughts originate from you, if you're prideful enough to think that everything originates from you, you can also be very hard on yourself, can't you? Because the ego can want to kill itself because it thought that you're the source of all bad, and you're not.
Do you still get thoughts like that come into your mind, a temptation to?
No, not anymore. I mean, just maybe a stray thought, which is not very heavy.
So, but that's nothing. That just observe, and it's enough just to see that it's not you.
Exactly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, since the gentleman brought it up, let's dwell on it for a moment. I think it's a good salient point. That the way you deal with things is to separate from what you thought was you. And you see that the thoughts are coming from another source other than you. And then you just look at it and know that it isn't you. And also, you'll know that it isn't right. A right you. That's all. Just watch it. Don't get angry with it. Psh, the end of it. That's how you deal with everything. That's all there is to it. And if you can do that, the light will dissolve the darkness. You just look at it, see that it's not you, that it's the dark side of you. No longer identify, justify. Look at it. And the light comes through you onto that which cannot be observed anymore, because how can you look at something if you're watching a movie and a searchlight comes, a car comes around the corner onto the screen, you can't see the picture anymore. So when the light comes through, it eliminates that old picture. Just look at it. Don't give in to it. Admit you have it. You also see that it isn't you that has it. It has you. and you thought it was you, and you went along with it because you thought it was you. And now, that's all you do. I have to talk about it anymore would make it more complicated. It's that simple. Do you hate your husband? Well, you have a part to play in the salvation of your wife. Every man needs a woman. I mean, woman needs a man. See, that's it. You hate him for it, and it compounds your misery.
He never wanted to change until lately.
Huh?
He never wanted to change until lately.
Well, you're going to change now? Think you can change? You look like a strong,
That's why I married him.
intelligent man, you know, with a lot of reason. Why don't you listen to it? Why don't you just give up some of your selfishness and... Have you? There's no future in selfishness, is there? None at all. You think there is, you give into it, and then you find there isn't. See, one is like a little domino. This afternoon, the domino begins.
I can't stop shaking.
Well, give yourself a chance. It's something coming out of you, and you've got to give it a little chance. This afternoon, you may be more ready, and tomorrow you may be more ready than this afternoon. Let's try you again, just for the heck of it. See, I know you're shaking. I can see it. It's very typical of a possession. Anything to say as you come out? Who is it? Who are you? Who are you? You must come out of him. You don't belong in there. This is not your rightful place. You've been discovered, and you cannot hide anymore. Not from the light of God. Confess? Something to confess? Something you must face up to? Stop hiding. Okay. This man's going to go through quite a bit while he's here. He's got a lot to come out. Is that right? You've got a lot of rage in there, isn't it? A lot of rage. So towards who?
My mother.
Say it again.
My mother.
Again.
My mother.
You still hate her? Aren't you like your mother? Is your mother inside there?
I think so.
Did you hate your father? You couldn't be a man if you hate your father, could you? You became your mother you hated.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's all you have to see. And the truth will make you free. Don't hate seeing it. Don't hate seeing it. Calm down. Okay. This man's going through the shaking, which is very symbolic of discovery. See, just like your whole body's trembling all over, like you're cold. Isn't that right?
Yes.
It's symbolic of discovery. I know, it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to you. You want...
I hate my father.
You're not ready yet.
How you know?
I know when you're ready. I'll do it in my time. My time is your time.
I have fear. I have fear here.
I know you have a fear.
Spirit. Funny.
Well, you're just a little bit screwed up right now, so... I have to wait for you to get more sensible before I can do you in. You're very confused right now. You're confusion.
Roy,
Yes.
I remember who I hate.
Who?
Kids at school.
Kids at school?
They used to tease me all the time about my name. They called me a witch because I have a bump on my nose.
Oh.
No, I didn't remember that.
All of a sudden you started remembering it?
But it fits right in now.
All right. Forgive them, for they know not what they did. They had parents that hurt them, and what could they do but take it out on you?
I see that intellectually.
I know. Well, just look at it, and a penny will drop, and you'll be free from it.
This man's having a problem.
All right. He's going through something else. See, every time somebody says something, it reminds either the same or others. You're going to be caught up in this. You just watch it. Out you come. You'll be finished with it in a minute. Just vent it safely. Did you discover something? Are you seeing something? Just experiencing.
I'm afraid to see it.
Come on.
I'm afraid to let people see it.
No. Because if we see it, we all see it. A collective consciousness sees it. Your consciousness can no longer hide behind the illusions of people not seeing it. We see it. Be free from it. Feel the pain once and for all, the shame, and it will be gone, or always feel it forever by hiding from it. Let go. Is that you, demon, in there? You don't want to go, do you? What can I say but face it? And then it'll all go away. All that pain will go. The pain will only be for a little while. Shame, you must experience shame without anger toward it. Okay? I guess you get the feeling of that, can't you? Rage.
You have been watching one in a series of programs recorded in Ventura, California, titled The Hypnosis of Life and Healing Seminar. Please check your local listings for the time and date.
What do you expect to happen? Do you have any expectations?
Well, just maybe get some more insight into some of my problems. And
did you come here for something specific today, or?
Well, just I have a lot of anger in me, and hopefully I can get rid of it.
Have you been listening to Roy for quite some time, or are you a new listener?
About a year and a half I've been listening to him now on the radio show.
Mm-hmm. And you've been meditating?
Yeah, for about 8 months now. Mm-hmm. And it's very interesting. It's helping me a lot.
That's good. Are you planning to come tomorrow?
Yeah, I am. Sure, I wouldn't miss it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Good. Did you enjoy today's seminar so far?
Yes, I did, very much.
And what do you look forward to this afternoon?
Well, I think more revelations, more personal things that appeal to me and that helping me to realize things about myself and things I need to correct.
Have you attended Roy's seminars before?
Yes, I have, and each time I get a benefit. And I
you do.
It's a lovely setting to have it in.
I agree. Thank you. What do you think so far?
What do I think? Well, I'm getting what I came for.
And what's that?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I can't put a label on it. It's just a warmness inside. It's something, nothing I can actually talk and tell you this was it, you know.
Just like a stronger consciousness of yourself and
it's a validation for all the stuff I am doing in my life, and that it's all real.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you enjoying the seminar so far?
Yeah, I am. There's a lot of, interesting information coming out through each experience. It's very informing. I think I learned more from each individual sharing. I almost
You can identify with what?
More, it seems to pull more information for my personal absorption. I'm enjoying it very much.
And what do you expect to happen this afternoon?
I'm not reading anything into it. I'm totally freeform. I'm enjoying it.
Hello there. The fact that you've been meditating helps because, remember, meditation is opposite to hypnotism, and it brings you close to the understanding of what your problem is very important for you yourself to realize by an inner light. Because you see, how can I say this? If there is something inside you hiding by your denial in the darkness, if there is something in there, it's only because of your agreement not to face whatever it is, because you think it's you. Do you understand that? Did I say it clearly enough? And therefore, in rejecting the light, you identify that which is not you as you, and you protect it. What is an excuse? Shield. So you hide under those shields of excuses which become your truth after a while. A big collection of shields is your philosophy in life, as weird as it is. So if you meditate, you come closer to a light of consciousness, and as you do, you are illumined from within, and that which is in the darkness begins to be seen, and also gives you the power to see that it is not you, and not to excuse anymore what you thought was you. There's some new power which tends to be incompatible with the old excuse making. See, when you are in your subconscious, lost in it, you tend to take your thoughts from it, your lies from it, as if they were truth. Your excuses, if you like. But when you come to the light, then you start to have a different taint, a different tinge of where you see things. And that tinge, which is sort of tinged by acquaintance with light rather than the tinged or with acquaintance with darkness, is incompatible with the things of darkness. There is something called light. And there's a thing of light, and there is a thing of darkness. Now, that's the reason why I'm trying to avoid drama. That's why I'm going to joke with you. I'm going to have fun with you. I'm going to be just a little lighthearted so as to neutralize any possibility that is my personality is getting you to perform the way. Because after all, everybody's hypnotized to some degree. I don't want to exert that kind of, or pull out that possibility. It would spoil what I'm trying to do. There is a real phenomenon. I don't need it. I'll leave that to the phony preachers and all the people who use ceremony and solemnity to make things happen, to make believers out of people. I don't want to make believers out of people. I want you to see it for yourself. If you don't see things for yourself, you're never going to be your own person. And you're never going to draw a same breath as long as you see, as long as you live. And by what is that seeing for yourself? By an inner light. I call it the light. I see you by that light. My eye, the light, you. The light shines in you, my eye is equipped to see you. No light, I don't see you. I still have an eye, but I don't see. If you don't have any light inside you, you don't perceive. It's very simple. You see with another dimension. People, what does the Bible say about that? They see and do not perceive. They hear, but they do not understand. They don't want to. I should turn again and heal them. That's what the good Lord said. Because they don't want to be healed. They want to go on the way they are. They find righteousness in not seeing. You've all done it. No wonder you're all screwed up. Now here you come to get unscrewed, right? But only who can unscrew you? I can't unscrew you. I can't unbrainwash you. Can I? If I unbrainwash you, that's brainwashing. There's got to be something common to all of us that you see that I have, that you see that I'm bringing you to, and you accept that. Who digs that? You dig it? Okay. All right, well, I'm just going to start anywhere, all right? Start from the end. I just have to move closer. There's something moving there, wasn't there, just a few minutes ago? There you go. You're going to get some relief here in a minute. Let it come out. What's troubling you? All right. If it's out, is it out?
I think so.
It's good. Yours is not a complicated one, is it? Yours.
I don't know if it is or not.
But you.
I can't see why. I can't see.
But you just.
Understand?
But
yes.
you felt something. You felt something just. Yes, that's very nice. See, that's all it was. I mean, I was just having a little fun a few days, and all of a sudden. You know, I think God's got a sense of humor. Except the laughs on us. You feel better now? You're a lot better, aren't you? If he'd get better, he'd help you a little bit better. So I hope you get better, right? Come on, it's not worth it to be angry. It doesn't pay, does it? You came from a loveless home, didn't you? Right? You don't want to pass it on, do you? Just forgive your parents and love your wife. Forgive that poor old mother. She never had a husband. You didn't have much of a father.
You're right.
See? And that's why you hate women. And that's why you put them down. And that's why you give them a hard time. Because you enjoy making them mad. Just be patient. All right? There's not a bad guy in there. Is there? There's something nice in there, I see that. He just gets drunk, not because he wants to, but because he doesn't know how to deal with anger.
He lived with drunks.
He lived with drunks all your life?
He's a loader cable.
Horrible, horrible. What a world we come from, eh? We already did you. I'm going to hit you on the noggin with a cross. You feel anything? You're feeling better already, aren't you? I don't know what, I can't explain it, but something happens. It's something, an energy that enables you to be able to do what you weren't able to do before. It's called forgiveness. It's being more patient with people, understanding where they're coming from is no better than where you came from. Something stirs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you all be patient with me as I get to you? Something stirs, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
That's all that's necessary. You'd be surprised your life can change just more than all the talking, more than all the speeches. Just a nice warm feeling from this cross. And without explanation can catapult you into an objective state.
Just to be aware of the...
There's an energy that seems to come through that the bad spirit is not compatible with, and the good spirit is. So it's like getting you know when your battery, the battery in your car is dead, mm-hmm. and you get a jumper cable and you give it a jump from a live one. That's what this. Yeah. It's just like a jumper cable. It just pulls you back. It gives you a start, and then you can deal with it. Let's do it over here. Can you move that?
Yes.
All right, let's try it.
It just feels wonderful. It makes me feel very happy.
So what you crying for if you're happy?
I don't know. I just feel so glad.
Good, I know what you mean. You don't have to explain it.
I just feel very happy since I've started listening to you. I just feel so happy. I can't explain it to you.
I hope you don't feel like you don't deserve it, because you don't. See? That's what happiness is. It's unmerited grace. It's undeserved grace.
I know.
And then if you can be grateful, like, what did I do to be worthy of this? You didn't do anything. If you did something to be worthy, I mean, who would need salvation? It's only, you know what it is? It's just a love, a yearning to be a better person.
That's what it is. I couldn't explain it to other people.
And some people can't get it.
Explain what it is.
And I can't.
I just want to be a better person.
Yeah, but I can't explain what attitude you should have to get it. Either you got it or you don't. And no matter how much I try to tell a person who hasn't got the gift of receiving what that attitude should be, nothing's going to happen to them. See? Like this gentleman here is ready. He's ready. Ripe as a plum. You can receive this, the sad gladness, can't you? There's not anything to confess, I don't think so, do you? You just feel it, don't you? You feel moved in the spirit, don't you? That's all you need. Isn't that sweet? Good old boy. That's, do you know what the only goodness is? It is like the tree that puts out its leaves when the sun rises. All the other trees which are dead, they don't put out leaves. That's how you know which ones are the live ones. So when the truth comes by, or when truth is represented on the external and reminds you of the internal, and the awakening occurs, they put out leaves. And you know which ones are alive and which ones are dead. Right? You're alive, and you're alive, or going to be.
It's like electricity.
It is electricity, isn't it?
I guess so.
Feel it?
It's an electric chair. I can feel it. My God. This is pure electricity.
It is an energy, isn't it?
Yes.
I gave you a jump start.
You certainly did. I don't know where I'm from, but
Isn't that something?
It's warm.
It's a warmth, isn't it? How are you doing? Are you like stone? Are you like stone? See, here's a guy who's very suggestible, but maybe not so much to the cross. See, one could be very suggestible to suggestion, but opposed to this. Just because you're a good hypnotic subject doesn't mean to say you're good when it comes to this. Because this represents a higher order. It's the inner, not the outer. Got a little surprised, didn't you, just then? Feel it? You can pass from death into life if you want to. All you have to is accept it. And just accept it.
I needed his touch.
You did, didn't you? He's light-hearted, isn't he? He's not that serious. Can't you feel that he's not judgmental? That he really doesn't judge you? That all your judgments on you are judgments on yourself, aren't they? If you weren't angry and you weren't playing God, you wouldn't feel God's judgment, would you?
No.
If you wouldn't judge, you wouldn't be judged.
No.
See, well, he really isn't judging you, see? He doesn't come to judge.
Can I kiss it?
If you think it'd do you some good. Well, that's sweet. Are you Catholic?
Was.
Was. Well, maybe that's the Catholic influence. We don't need to do it. I don't mind if you do it. I wish it was me instead. See, you don't have to. You can make jokes. I told you you can make. You don't mind me making jokes, do you? To me, I'm not making fun of you. Hard-hearted Hannah? Well, maybe I can come on this side. You're feeling something, aren't you? Come on, give in to it. Arms crossed, legs crossed, defiance. How are you doing? You feel anything? You do feel something. How do you feel? You learning something from me, are you, today?
So much.
Good, I'm glad. Excuse me. All right. How about you?
I was ready before the break. My whole body was shaking.
Good. Well, maybe you already had your experience. See? We'll do some more in a little while. Let's go. Let it happen.
Quit smoking. I want to quit being so nasty.
So hateful?
Huh?
You have a cigarette?
Yeah.
Give her, light a cigarette up then.
Oh, it's coming out. It's coming out.
A little smoke, a wisp of smoke?
Uh-huh. It's coming out.
In his name?
In his name. Jesus.
Be gone. Demon of rage. You won't be able to smoke anymore. You won't want to anymore. You'll see. You won't need to. You have his love, and you don't need his distraction. You be more patient with other people. Okay? You don't meditate yet, do you? Well, who cares about you anyway? We do care. We do care. Just joking. Yeah, there's something moving in there, isn't there? There is, isn't there? You okay? You're angry and depressed a lot, aren't you? I can see you got that depressed-looking face. Whole sad sacks. Could be a pretty girl, you know, if you weren't so unhappy. So what are you mad about? You don't know?
Resentment.
To who?
My mother, my father.
You're going to get rid of it? You're going to be finished with it? You're not that sorry about it yet, though, are you? You're not that sorry about it yet.
I'm seeing it.
You're seeing it. Okay, we're getting closer. And you, young lady, are you sorry? Is that what you're crying about? Yeah? You want to talk about it or not? No? But is it just nice and private? As long as you can see it, I'm happy with it. I can dig it. How about you? Are you crying over a wasted life? Huh? It's not wasted if you learn something from it.
I have a burning anger and I can't get rid of it.
Are you meditating? How long have you been meditating? Who are you angry with? Everybody? But it began with somebody, didn't it? Who did it begin with?
The people that raised me.
Who are the people that raised you?
An uncle and an aunt.
Pardon?
An uncle and an aunt.
And were your mother and father substitutes?
I guess. I don't know.
But you have a lot of hate towards which one the most?
kiss my uncle.
Why? What did he do to you, as if I didn't know?
Oh, he's violent. He hated me.
And did you hate it back?
I didn't want to.
But you did, didn't you? Isn't that how his nature got inside?
Oh.
Is that right? Who is in there with you?
I don't know.
Somebody, you're not you anymore, are you? So who are you?
I don't know. Oh.
You could know if you'd look. You become like what you hate, don't you?
They're so many.
There's so many people you hate? Huh?
My mother gave me away to these people, and they were awful.
You hate your mother?
I hate her.
Why did your mother give you away? Come on now. She didn't love you? She couldn't take care of you? What were you?
She wanted to leave with a man. I was in the way.
There's no love there, is there? When are you going to let it go?
I want to let it go.
Well, why do you hold on to it?
I don't know.
Don't you enjoy hating it?
No, it's burning me up.
See this cross? Can't you forgive it?
I want to. I want to.
You will. You're coming back tomorrow, aren't you? If you don't catch on pretty soon, Janine, I'm going to be visiting you at your gravesite. Let's just soften that hard heart of yours. What would you call a nutcase? Pretty hard. A macadamia nutcase. You ready? There isn't much to say, is there? Just something to feel. You felt love. Do you know that love comes from nowhere else except from within you?
You're the only person I've ever met that I felt had love or taught me anything, really.
But I brought you to love with my love. See, so what you feel towards me isn't binding. See, do you understand what I mean? If I bring you with my love to the same love within you, then we're connected by satellite, but not directly. Do you see the difference? Who understands that? You do, don't you? See? But if love is an emotional bond, you bypass the satellite. We become each other's gods. And we complete the madness by escaping through one another, and we become one another. Instead of becoming one with God and giving up our old identity and taking his new nature, the woman becomes the man becomes the woman. It's the wrong worship. That's why the magic of my teaching is there is no love in the world. And neither should you look for it any place, because your own common sense will tell you that it's not there, and if it was there, it would just be a lie. Any love I have for you, if it's going to be real, is to bring you to that love which I myself have been brought to. So I'm whole. I can do that, and you will feel love, but it won't be from me. You understand that? Now you're free from all men.
I hope to God. You're right.
I figured I said the right thing. See, I'm a man that did for you what no man ever did for you. I brought you to love without loving you, without using you. What you doing tonight? See? All right?
You have been watching one in a series of programs recorded in Ventura, California, titled The Hypnosis of Life and Healing Seminar. Please check your local listings for the time and date of the next telecast in this series. The Foundation of Human Understanding also presents Roy Masters. Human Understanding presents a continuing series of programs from a lecture titled The Hypnosis of Life and Healing Seminar, which was recorded in Ventura, California on March 22nd and 23rd, 1986. The speaker is author and broadcaster Roy Masters, host of the call-in radio program How Your Mind Can Keep You Well and A Moment of Truth, which can be heard on a number of radio stations, both in the United States and abroad. We now join the seminar, already in progress.
Come out. There you go. There's one in there, and that's a real one. In the name of Jesus, come out. Yeah, I don't like that noise. We don't belong in there, my friend. Well, you're not my friend. Get out, pig. Who are you? What are you a demon of? What's your emotion? Come on. Come out. Be aware that. Be aware. Be aware that, young man, what's your name?
Robert.
Robert. Be aware that it exists within you. You can't stand it. Look at it. Don't be angry. There's a light within you, and this energy coming through you right now is making you objective, so this thing is caught between two lights. The energy of light coming from the outside and the energy of light coming from within you. It doesn't know what to do. It must leave. I don't care where it goes. Who do you hate?
I just feel like electricity going through me.
Any hate? No hate in there?
Oh, my parents, I guess.
I don't like the I guess bit. Any anger, rage, I want to see it. I want you to see it. Judgment. Any idols of fantasy? Let them all be cast down. In his name, come out. In his name, come out. Don't be obstinate. All creatures, even all creatures are made by God, even devils. Therefore, you are subject to him who made you. You fulfilled your purpose. You brought the man to reality, but you didn't get the man. You were just used as not a reality object lesson. You don't like to be used, you're the user. The man is now going to be sorry for his past life. He's able to be sorry, and that's all the prerequisite for his salvation. Therefore, be healed. By the power invested in me, be well. Be whole. Be one with your conscience.
I want to be free.
Huh?
I want to be free.
I know, you will. Come out of him now. Come out of him. Anything in there now?
I don't know.
No. Good. Feel better now?
Tingly all over.
Feel tingly all over, right? Okay, it's good. That's nice.
Question.
Yeah,
This is just a piece of wood.
that's all it is.
It was
Don't claim-
Christ who died.
It was
for our
Christ,
salvation.
but this reminds the thing that's inside you. Actually, it's the evidence of its antiquity. It recognizes the symbol. And it doesn't want to be reminded of its defeat. It will shrink away. It responds. You'll see in a few minutes. Because we don't have many genuine exorcisms, see, but we have enough to make it interesting and enough catharsis, because the cross can just be a crossroads where you sort of jump from one side to the other as it goes by. And it's like magic. You do what you're not able to do intellectually. And you've got a big one in you. He's making room for more, I think. Do you resent me when I said that? Did you get a flash of resentment when I said that? Be honest.
No.
Sure? The main thing is, I'll just play with you sometimes, because I care for you, and I want you to see that resentment. Because you've been criticized by your weight before. And if you somebody has to bring it to your attention, but somebody has to bring it to attention the right way. No one ever has that. No one ever has before. The more they bring your weight to it, the more you resent it. The more you resent it, the more you eat. Because resentment is part of why you have an inner hunger that can never be satisfied. It's part of it.
I don't understand why I can't stop hating.
You can't, but that's you.
I've gotten rid of everything else but hate.
No. You can't get rid of anything else before you get rid of hate. So it must have been that there's less hate in you. Otherwise, not. See, hate is the. You listening? Hate is the sap of the tree, so that everything is made out of it. The fallen and rebellious and wicked and disturbed and crazy, sick, cancerous, overweight, bulimic, stupid, guilty self is made out of jillions of hates. You can't give up hate without dying. That's why the hardest thing in the world is to give up resentment. Because it reconnects you to the source of what you are. Now, you hated your father, you hated your mother. Okay, that separated you from growing right. You see that? That's called temptation. Let's take it real slow. You hated your mother, you hated your father, with good reason, but they were hateable. That separated you from who you might have been and introduced you to what you became, which depended on hate to become. So you have to hate. You're addicted to it. And you think if you give up hate, you're giving up life. You're giving up who you are. Exactly right, you are. Unless a man die and be born again, he can no ways enter the kingdom of God. That kind of flesh and blood can enter the kingdom, cannot do it. It's a house built on sand. It falls apart. It's not stable. So I little wonder why you have difficulty giving up resentment, because you protect it. It's the root of what you are. Every time you get upset with somebody, you're reconnected to the source of your recreation. Am I going too fast? No. Every time you find somebody like your such father, maybe, or your mother, and you resent them, you immediately reconnect. One, you are disconnected from your common sense, because hate is a disobedience of God's command not to hate. So it separates you from what's wrong with hating and what's wrong with every hate you ever had, which made you what you are. It reconnects you and involves you deeper with hate objects. And out of that comes the you, which is the conflict. Does that make sense to you? All right. This is the self that has to die. And this is the self we protect, because we think with its thoughts. You see what I'm saying?
Is that why Jesus said love your enemies?
Don't hate them. See, his love is different from... He said, love one another as I have loved you, is a different kind of love that we love each other with. See, his love doesn't hate anybody. If you don't resent anybody and you forgive them, that's another word for it, isn't it? If you do not resent another and are obedient to that doctrine to which you are delivered, not to hate, and are glad to hear it. See? That's the secret, to be glad to hear it. Then you become a new creature, remolded from within, and you're given the strength not to hate. And you're rewarded with new life for not hating. And you can suffer. You earn through all the things you suffer. You grow through all the things you suffer.
Such a peace.
You got a taste of it already? You feel it now because I've explained it to you. It's not that hard. You see, some people have a companion inside them, see? And it's hate-based. It's the unholy spirit that comes into them, forms inside them through, it comes into their empty soul, their desolate soul, and fills that empty desolation with a desecrated self, a destitute self. And this in you cries out for that which made you outside. You cry to your mama. You're drawn to the woman, and you make her worse. You make her an object of hate. Because the more wrong she becomes, the more you can get involved with hating her and to develop a greater and more prideful self as a result of getting into it, coming out of it with more power. See? You understand that, don't you? If I can just give a little lecture every now and then, because it emphasizes what the value of all this, because that's what Jesus stood for. They never understood him. The churches today don't understand Jesus at all. His doctrine is so simple. You deny yourself. You have to deny yourself anger and resentment. You have to forgive. What is the Lord's Prayer? Have you noticed the Lord's Prayer? Forgive us as we forgive. If you will just take some of this new understanding and start to obey the impulse of the Spirit, be delivered to that doctrine of no hate, resentment, then you start to evolve in God and God in you. You're into him and he's into you. And that gives you a new intelligence, a new support base to perceive even more. If you grow to see more. You'll be able, like a trapeze artist. A trapeze artist does better as he practices. He's able to do better tricks more effortlessly. A small tree can only take so much light, but a big tree, much light. Has more of a body, more leaves to put out. So you'll know more truth. Practice a little bit, get more. See, he that follow after me, says Jesus, shall know the doctrine. See, well, if you understand his principle of not hate, if you understand it, then you understand the basis of everything you're going to be. And you will receive new insight. You'll understand everything one day. Just be patient. Don't get upset. Be long-suffering. If somebody smacks you on one cheek, hit him on the face with a baseball bat. And you can do that. See, what he means by turn also the other is simply don't respond to with anger. Because remember, he threw the money changers out of the temple. He moves from a different order of things. He doesn't move because he's angry. He moves because you can't do that to me. Right? It's a different motivation. Anger is different motivation. Anger changes the order and your motivation and where you're coming from and where you're going to. You dig? I've seen you before. All right?
Better.
Hello.
When you said deny yourself, why does it?
Why does that what?
I want to.
Cry? What does it mean to deny yourself? Is that what you're saying?
I want to. How do you get the strength?
Strength? To deny yourself? Well, because to love what's right rather than what serves your selfish interest. And if you have a pure love for that, you'll know the difference. See, if you have a pure intent, you have an inherent ability to deny yourself. And if you don't have a pure love for what's right, it cannot be done. Is that clear? I can't give it to you. It is a gift. It is a gift. Pray for the gift. Because that's what salvation is. Because you're so locked in, sort of enslaved, possessed by the things you possess. That's the quagmire in which we're born, isn't that right? Possessed by the things we're possessed. It says, help me. Now some people never cry. They go, they just struggle and yell and scream like a bellowing bull. But they don't cry to their Creator. They just don't.
People don't realize how much God loves us. They don't realize it.
They don't. He's patient. He doesn't force. God is patient, doesn't force his will on us. He lets everybody else force their will on us. He waits for you to want to come to him. As I've always said, God wants volunteers, not conscripts. So don't force your kids to learn religion, or don't force your kids to listen to me. It's the worst thing you can do. Just be a good example. How are you feeling all right now? You just realized something, didn't you? It's beautiful, isn't it? There's more than this world, you see. You know, when you see what I see, and you start to become objective, everybody looks like amateurs. All the experts, all the generals, all the brass bands, all the politicians, all the professionals who carry themselves with pomp and ceremony, all those people we think of as authority, when you look at them, they look like silly little kids playing cops and robbers. Nobody is an expert anymore, don't you see? You don't not beholden to anybody. So be it with you. You see? And the further you are away from God, the more those people are authorities to you. If everyone who doesn't love his Creator will be ruled by tyrants. Or William Penn said that, but he died from syphilis. But he said some truth. Can't discount the fact that he had something going for him before he got syphilis. You? How can you find the truth chewing gum? Okay, God. Give me the wikes. The youth of today. You're a sensitive soul, aren't you?
I'm very.
Now you're going to get it. Okay.
Nice Jewish boy.
A nice Jewish boy. Well, one of our boys made it. Takes one to know one. Are you a nice Jewish boy too? Not afraid of this, are you? No. When you know, I'm Jewish too, and I don't know. Jesus was a nice Jewish boy as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he was smarter than the rabbis, a lot smarter. The Mumsas killed him. You know what Mumsa means?
Well, I'm another nice boy.
I don't know, but the point is that they would like to kill me too. But this time the Christians will do it. The trouble is, the Christians are just like the Jews were then. If Christ ever came down to earth today, they'd probably crucify him all over again, but the church would do it. Such phonies they are, they hypocrites. Nice sober gentleman.
Thank you.
My hand, it's been doing that ever since I came here. And it happens every time I meditate.
Yes.
And since I've been here, it just keeps
doing that.
Left
hand.
Left hand, always.
Something's in there.
Yes, I know.
Some kind of great rage.
I know.
It's on the left side of your body. Towards your husband?
No.
Towards who?
Anybody that, not everybody, but little annoyances.
But they build up.
Yes. It's
You have a little tolerance.
Yes. I know that.
It's not good.
I know it isn't.
You're too old and wise for that.
I know that.
You see, it doesn't help you.
I recognize it.
And cause a stroke if you're not careful. That's the kind of thing that causes cancer. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
No more.
Thank you. Thank you.
Zonk, zonk. Well, coming down the home stretch. Okay. The cross hurts you?
Yes.
Where is it?
I've just forever been running away from it. If I could only love it. I keep turning away from it.
You're turning away from what it represents.
I know my dying, my death, right? My selfishness.
That's exactly right. But keep on crying. See? You're realizing, aren't you?
Yes.
It'll come. Well, I don't see anything going over here yet. All right, well, I think... Anything? Warmth? Nothing. All right. Now we'll talk. Okay, questions and answers. Yes.
When I was 12, I came home from the theater, and my mother told me that my father had been in, well, my neighbor rather, told me that my father was in an accident and that my mother had gone to the hospital. So because I was Catholic and used to going to Mass every day, I just sat down, I started praying to God, and I said, "Dear God, please, make my father well." And then my mother came home and she said, "Your father died in the car accident."
Uh-huh. We got a secret here. Now you see when she talks that secret, look what happens to her. This cross didn't help her that much. But when she talks about the secret, go talk about the secret.
Part of me at that moment just turned away from God.
It did.
So from that time on, I've done whatever I wanted to do. And then, after I do it, I say, "And what do you think about that, God?"
Now, you never told that to anybody before. And so what do you think of that system? Has it worked for you? Have you ever thought that your father deserved it?
No, never. I never. I always, no.
Well, I had a father, and he died, and I was 15, and my father was, I hardly knew him, but he was good. He smoked 3 packs a day. He died from high blood pressure and a stroke. Doctor says don't eat, don't do anything other. You're going to be in a cripple for the rest of your life. So he decided not to be a cripple and died. He went ahead and did what he wanted to do anyway. But he wasn't a bad guy. I don't have any bad memories from him. So I was sad, and naturally I was sad, but I didn't resent God. That's the difference.
But now I hate myself because I've hated God.
Well, naturally, if you hate God, you do hate yourself. Is that right? Because you've loved God, you'd love yourself. Because you have a loving self, a lovable self in you if you love God. And if you hate God, you have a hateable self in you. Because the self that is in you that is not of God because you've hated him is of what is not God. Simple. Of course you hate yourself. But you still, when you hate yourself, it means that you still have the light of God because he hasn't judged you all the way to death yet. You may have hated him, but he hasn't hated you.
I know.
I know. Do you feel better now?
Yeah.
Yes. I'll be with you in a minute.
I've hated my daughter most of her life.
Why?
She's been 3.5 years. She's 3.5 now.
You think that's right?
I know I've hurt her.
Why do you?
I'm afraid to leave the seminar tomorrow with still having a little hatred. How do I know if it's gone? I mean, I hated her most of her life.
She's hungry for your love. She needs your love.
Every time she would touch my hand and hold me, I'd want to I would be in the middle of doing something. And I'd get angry with her for stopping me from doing it.
Well, now what does that mean? Think for a minute.
It means I'm
what does
so
it
willful.
Mean? That's right. It means you're a willful little witch, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse the expression. You're willful and mean.
I've been so mean to her.
I know. You mean you want what you want. Now what does this mean in terms of, how did you get the daughter? Come on, be honest. Did you play around with the boyfriend? Were you married? Were you not married?
I'm married.
But whose idea was it?
No, that happened the first time with my husband, where he pressured me into it and I had an abortion. He pressured me into the act, and then I pressured him into an abortion. And so our first child is missing, and she's our second child.
You see your madness? Now get it out of your system. Now, once you see how silly that is that right? It ceases to exist. Now, that would have been better before I passed the cross round.
What?
I said if you had said that before I passed the cross round, this would have had more effect.
Well, you just went right by.
I know. But we're coming tomorrow. You feel better now? Do you still resent your daughter right now?
I still have that doubt in me, like I'm never going to get better.
Then why are you here? You do have hope of getting better, don't you? Well, then obviously that's a contradiction. See the contradiction? If you're never going to get better, if you really believe that, you won't be here. But she obviously doesn't really believe it, or doesn't want to believe it. Pardon?
Part of my beliefs, God's going to heal me of this disease I have because of all my hatred for so long. I turned my hatred towards myself, and my body started rejecting itself because I've never had any love. I've hated my father, and I've hated God, and I've even hated you because I would listen to the program. I would hate the fact that I didn't get better after listening for so long. So stupid.
You're just looking for a reason to hate. Okay. See it now? Let it out. If you'll feel better. Because when you talk about it and you see it, and you talk about it in so that you understand what you're saying when you're saying it, when you understand what you're saying when you're saying it, it all seems silly to you. It seems to become that important. How silly all that is. You know what it's like to wake up next morning after you worried about something, and you worried and you worried and you worried and you went to sleep. You don't know how to solve this problem. You fall asleep. You wake up in the morning and you knew you were worrying about something last night. Well, what was it now? It seemed to have solved itself. That's exactly how the kingdom is.